Hello, welcome to a movie review. As I mentioned in my previous video about rambling about movies, I went to see Captain America, and I went to see that with my wife a couple days ago. And so here's my review. It will be spoiler free. Okay, so I will do my best not to spoil for anyone. First off, I did not collect the modern Captain America books in 2005. I think that's when the Winter Soldier storyline first appeared. I think it's something like 2005 or 2006. My first knowledge of the Winter Soldier story or the character is through the cartoon. I'm just gonna go into a quick segue. For those that have Netflix streaming, I recommend highly that you go get the go watch the Avenger Earth Mightiest Heroes. It's probably my top four cartoon from DC or Marvel. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the characters in it. I think the voice is awesome. The character depictions are great, and the storylines are great. I'm very saddened that they canceled this series and do another series, because if you watch this series, it's only two seasons. I think the first season was 2011 and the second season was 2012. You have the Winter Soldier storyline in there. You have the Beta Ray Bill storylines in there. You have Carol Danvers, Ms. Marvel storyline in there. You have the great Kree battle in there. The Kree as well as the Crow, the Super Crow, you name it. There's a lot of great storylines in there as well as the Vision. Okay, so if you haven't watched any of those videos, I highly recommend it. I'm bummed out that they canceled that series, but there's a lot of things that Marvel do and did with all this cartoon that I do not agree with, and perhaps I will do a video someday that's deals specifically with cartoons, because it's a pretty good uh, medium, for superhero stuff, because a lot of stuff translates very well in cartoon as far as superhero is concerned. But back to the movie. So I know from the cartoon the origin of the Winter Soldier. So I went to the movie, and I can say that this is the more serious, if not the most serious Marvel movies to date. If you were talking about the Iron Man movies or the Avengers or the Thors, this one definitely was more serious in that there are very little, if any, comedy moments. If you watch my reviews with the Thor movie, the last Thor movie, I complained that I didn't care for the overuse of the character Cat, the assistant to the scientist. Almost everything that come out of her mouth was some kind of funny, witty lines that make it silly. When the world is blowing up and buildings is falling on you, you don't need to say a lot of witty stuff. You're running for your life. So it was annoying to me. Some people like that kind of comedic moment. I thought it was overused. For Captain America, I can say that it was well done. It's my kind of movie. I can say that I don't mind, and I do appreciate a well timed funny moment in even in a serious movie. But for the most part, if I have to choose um, a more serious movie compared to a comedy, uh, I tend to go with the more serious movie. But that's just my taste. Um, so right off the bat, um, I had to say that I like the actor that play the Falcon. I look forward to see him in more movies with Marvels. I thought everything that had to do with the Falcon was good. I also really enjoy the inclusion of the Black Widow in the movie. This movie could have easily been Captain America slash Black Widow because I think she was about as predominant in the movie as far as characters, storyline, all that stuff. I think she was an integral part of the entire movie from beginning to end. That it could have easily been, like I said, a Captain America slash Black Widow movie. And after I saw this movie, I think it's very little doubt in my mind they will segue into a Black Widow standalone movie sometime in the future. It just the way the storyline went, I can see that happening, and I think it will be good. And, I was not sure if the Black Widow can carry a movie by herself, but after I see this movie, I think it's possible. I definitely more optimistic that they can do something with this character and make it a decent 2 hour movies out of it. Okay, so the as far as Chris Evans as Captain America, great choice. I never had any problem with him at all as far as an actor. In fact, he was the best thing for the Fantastic Four. If there was any positive thing that can be said about those two horrible Fantastic Four movies, it was Chris Evans. He did a fantastic job. He was all jacked up. I mean, yeah, he was buff. I'm sure he spent a lot of time in the gym to look that good. But he looked good. He played the part well. He's very believable as far as being Captain America. So very little complaint about that. And then even the Samuel Jackson, and of course you have the bad guy, and it's I have very little complaint about this movie. I would give this movie at least 3.5 star out of 5, potentially 4. I might have to think about it more, but no doubt it's better than you know um, the Thor, the Dark World. It's better than Iron Man 3 for me. It's better than a lot of the other movies that Marvel put out. Would I like it more than Captain America 1 for sure. Um, just because I think the storyline for this was much better. The special effect, the fight sequence was uh, really well done. Um, Perhaps my only complaint, well, I have a few complaints, but I think when you watch sci-fi superhero movies like that, you have to kind of, I wouldn't say tune off your common sense, but you have to understand that why they do what they do. For example, if you watch this movie, if you saw if you haven't seen the movie and you saw the clips, the trailers, right? You see grand destruction. You see big spaceship, not spaceship, but like the carriers, the flying carriers come crashing and exploding, all that stuff. No doubt, this is the this is massive as far as destruction and scope and scale of the threats in this movie, and the common sense in me would say, why did Nick Fury just pick up the phone and call the Avengers? Because this is, if the the Avengers could have come here and solved the problem pretty easily instead of like relying on Captain America, the Falcon, and the Black Widow to try to stop the killing of 20 million people, right? So it's so that's kind of the part where you had to tune your brain out. The other part you had to tune your brain out to is, of course, the lack of involvement of the rest of the military. I've tried to do my best to not give away spoiler, but when you have this kind of threats, okay, just like in Thor: The Dark World, when something this big is happening and you don't see any other kind of law enforcement getting involved in trying to stopping these threats, you kind of cringe a little bit, because it kind of, I understand why they do what they do. I understand that perhaps it's to put that's not important. The focus is on Captain America and the other two supporting characters in trying to stop the threats, but at the same time, I would have done something to show that the rest of the world, the rest of America, or the rest of Washington D.C. is not sleeping at the wheel. No doubt, the way the movie ended, Captain America 3, you can see where the storyline is going to be heading, and I'm excited about that next sequel, because I think that would be a good storyline. No doubt. I did not stay for the end credit extra scenes. I did read about those two extra scenes at the end after I get home from the movies, because we didn't have time to stick around, and we're in a rush to get out. So my wife and I left, and we both enjoyed the movie. I think it's hard for us to sit here and say that, oh, it's the best movie since the Avengers. I liked it. I definitely liked it more than many other Marvel superheroes movie in the past 3 or 4 years. No doubt, I would say that. But overall, I was very pleased. I think that if you go see the movie, you will not be disappointed. And that's my review without any spoilers. Thanks for watching. Bye.